Hello, welcome to the Blue Tit YouTube channel. My name is Tom, I'm the Creative Director at Blue Tit London, and today I'm going to take you through a Micro Grad Bob. So the four key areas I want to take you through to achieve this look are 1, the graduation through the back, 2, the line into graduation through the sides, 3, the connecting areas and refinement, and then 4, a soft fringe. This is Neve, and key area number 1 is going to be the graduation through the back. For this, I'm going to be working a square graduation using vertical sections. So to start this area at the back, I've sectioned it in half to make it more manageable. I'm going to be working the graduation through the back using vertical sections. This way it's easier to create a flatter, higher graduated shape. I've chosen to work square through the back to create corners, which will create a boxy feel and complement the sides. So to do this, I started in the middle and then worked each section back to previous, working to my imaginary wall. Here you can see my cross check working in the opposite direction, bringing everything out square. Make sure your sections are roughly a finger's width and the same size each section. As you come round to the curve of the head, start to increase the over direction to create the squarer shape. Remember to assess your shape as you go through the graduation and cross check to make sure we're working square. Then we want to repeat this technique on the section above using the underneath area as our guide. Make sure we continue the same angle of graduation in the top half to keep the graduation seamless and soft. Key area number 2, the line into graduation on the sides. For this area, I'm going to use a different technique to create a heavier graduation that will give me my micro bob look that I want. So to start, I'm going to cut a square line using no elevation by cutting through my comb. I'm then going to repeat this again on the next section to make sure I build up a solid line and silhouette. So with the next section, we're going to change our technique. We're going to start to introduce some graduation. I'm going to use the line underneath as my guide, then elevate 2 fingers width and cut the start of my external graduation. It's important to remember to stay stationary in front of the section to maintain the squarer shape. Each section will continue to be elevated 2 fingers width each time to maintain the flow and softness of the graduation. A little tip for this area, the hair at the front of the sides is a lot lighter, so will need to be elevated less to maintain the strength of the silhouette and line. I then repeated this on the other side using just below the middle of Neve's ear as my guide. Key area 3, connecting and refining. So here we need to connect the length from the side into the square graduation at the back. So to do this, I will take in diagonal back sections, taking my guide from the length on the sides and cutting a curved line in. Every section will be elevated more each time to connect into my line. On the corner, everything will be over directed to the same point each time to maintain the squarer feel. Just a little reminder to make sure the hair is evenly damp throughout the whole haircut. So once we've connected the sides into the back, we need to refine the outline. You can leave this area longer and more textured or completely carve out a strong line. I want to keep it soft and a bit looser, but just clean it up. Then to finish key area number 3, we need to connect the very top area into the graduation on the sides and back. For this I'll use a much looser tension as it's more likely to jump up when dry. Key area number 4, the fringe. To keep this soft, I'm going to be working around a line so it's the same length all the way across. To make this pop and bring out the rest of the look, I'm going to be cutting my fringe length in above the eyebrows that when dry will sit in the middle of the forehead. I'm elevating slightly to graduate the line, again to make sure the fringe is soft. The second section will be elevated even further to continue the graduation and softness. Lastly, just assess your line to make sure it sits the same length all the way around. To style this, I've just used 1.5 pumps of the Flux Potion by Obey. This is going to give my waves some hold and definition. Once the hair is set in place, I've then gone in with my diffuser to keep it nice and natural. This is my Micro Grad Bob for Neve.